Hey guys, Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Greatness. Hope everybody's doing well. Did you know that there are two types of business owners in today's industry? Which one are you? Stick around and we'll find out in a minute. So yeah, there are two types, but let's start with a story. Way back in the day, in the Western days, and you may remember this from 8th grade history class, there was a train that went from the east to the west and it transported businessmen and all types as they went through the Great Plains. Well, back in the day, the buffalo were abundant. They were everywhere. There were so many of them that the government actually wanted their population reduced. And they would do is they would stop the train, and many of the hunters would pull their rifles out and just drop the buffalo as they graze. Now, here's the interesting thing. Here's a group of buffalo. One of them gets shot while he's grazing, drops right to the ground. The one beside him looks over and goes right back to grazing, even though he's at risk for being next. We don't want to be that buffalo. So let's talk about an alternative using Hollywood. Do you remember, I'm telling my age a little bit here, but back in the 80s, there was a movie called The Karate Kid. There were several remakes of this. Maybe you saw Karate Kid 2, 3, 4, 16, I don't know. Or even Cobra Kai, which is the new spinoff on YouTube. But at any rate, it was a really good storyline for we as business owners. Okay, so there was the Karate Kid, okay? There was this boy. He knew nothing of karate initially, and he moved from the East Coast to the West Coast. So he found himself, imagine this, starting your business, moving from as an employee over into an employer. He found himself in a hostile area. New school, bullies, people weren't very nice to him. He saw a lot of opportunity there. Remember the girlfriend potential, whatever. And he started getting beat up and knocked around pretty good. Well, he realized he needed help. He needed training. So what did he do? He went to one of these big classes, the local there, the dojo, and there was all of his competition that was beating his rear every day. And they were all about offense and strikes, strike first, strike hard, remember? And so what did he do? Well, he didn't want to be a part of that, so he went out and bought a book. And he sat down and he's reading his book. He's got his battle scars, of course. And in walks the maintenance guy, which is Mr. Miyagi, our hero's guide, right? His mentor. And he's, "What you doing?" He says, "I'm studying karate." And he's throwing these kicks. He's learning how to strike, right? And so Mr. Miyagi kind of acknowledged that, made a mental note, and he obviously witnessed poor little Daniel getting his rear handed to him one time. He stepped in and he says, "Miyagi teach you karate," right? So he got one-on-one specialized training just for him. So when he shows up for training the next day, if you remember, he's all ready for the strike, and Mr. Miyagi, I think he hands him a bucket, right? He had to wash the car and wax on and wax off, or paint the fence. Remember all these motions, and he was frustrated. He didn't know what he was training for, but Mr. Miyagi wasn't training him for strikes. He was training him for self-defense. He had to be able to survive first and foremost. Are we going after that strike? Are we doing all the advertising and trying to get that new customer? Are we setting our business up for proper survival? There's a lot of things that are coming right now in our industry. They're coming after your customers. And if you don't have this part dialed in, you may find yourself without a lot of your customers overnight. Okay, so back to the two types of owners. There's two basic types. We're all motivated by something. Many of us are running towards something. We've got that goal. We've got that passion. It's all about that. Others are running away from something. I don't want to go back to work for somebody else. I don't want to fail. I don't want them laughing at me, right? I don't want people to say, "See, you couldn't make it." A fear of failure. So we have to be honest with ourselves and determine which one of those are most motivating for us. But ultimately, motivation is going to keep us moving forward. So there's two basic insights that we need to take into account, because if you're thinking about, I need to grow my business in order to achieve those goals in which I desire. Maybe I need to provide for my children an education, or pay my home off, or move into a home. Well, whatever that is, you're trying to grow your business. Then there's the other side. Those who are feeling the weight of that crunching weight of the business and operating it and all the employees and everything else. And they get to the point, you know what? I just want to be small. I want to get rid of these employees, right? We don't want to be the latter, because if you're not growing, you're going down. If you're not going forward, you're going backwards. And it's really a matter of letting loose of your old ways and allowing that business to manage you, and start to manage that business yourself. So there are certain characteristics that a successful entrepreneur has, one of which is they're highly driven and they're very passionate. And there has to be a self-confidence. I can do this. And a lot of times we struggle with that. Am I good enough? This other company is so big, and we're looking at the competition and we're not focused on what we need to be doing. And of course, we have to have a high tolerance for things like risk, for change. You have to put yourself out there. It is a big gamble. Make mistakes, have setbacks or failures. But only with these things come growth. Are you too conservative? What are you not doing that you should be doing that's going to get you towards growth? There's a lot of gurus out there, and a lot of the big ones are egomaniacs, just putting it bluntly, okay? And there's some exceptions, obviously, but there's a lot of ego out there. And they're me, driven, me. And that's they're hardwired that way. But if that is not you, why pursue that path? What is your definition of success? What are you passionate about when it comes to your business? Do you want the most trucks on the road, or do you want the best trucks on the road? Right? Do you want to explode through growth, or do you want healthy, organic growth that you can depend on year after year, no matter what the competition throws at you, trying to get your customer away from you? You see, customers are loyal to certain attributes of a company. They generally reflect their very own values. So until you do a values assessment, understand the internal marketing, not the external. External means I want to sell you a furnace. I got $99 off of a tune-up, or $99 off of a widget, whatever, contactor, relay, compressor, equipment, IAQ, all of this stuff that we're throwing at them. The customer doesn't want that. They want what that does to their emotional state internally. That's what they want to fix. And until you understand that and can bypass that, you're not going to have a true connection with that customer. But once you do, once you have that connection, it's like pulling teeth to get that customer away from you. When the competition comes in and runs a promotion, that's not going to appeal to them, because they have their relationship. What is their relationship? You go from being an outsider to being part of my tribe. My tribe is my people, right? I have my family in my tribe, all my close friends, and by extension, those I interact with every day. I don't put my haircut out for bid. I have my barber. I have my accountant. I have my attorney. I have my relationships, and I have my HVAC guy. If you get this right, you need to learn to become part of your customer's tribe and to blend in with that seamlessly. So which of those two personality types are you? Are you the ones that are moving towards something? Or are you one of the ones that are moving away from something? It really doesn't matter, but what does matter is that you're not one of those buffaloes that's standing out there when your competition is dropping dead all around you. Get yourself out of risk and put yourself in a defensive posture. Put yourself into a better position, and you can only do that through growth. And you know what comes with growth. We've already talked about that. So here's what we want to do. We want to get you the information. You can go read a book and throw kicks if you want. You want to take and internalize that information. You can go join one of the big classes with all your competition if you want. Or you can find a coach that's either one-on-one or a very small group, like Cobra Kai, where the instructor has two or three students that are working together, and you can focus on what's special about you. Because remember, HVAC greatness is about bringing out your greatness in HVAC. It's not about me. It's not about what I've done. Sure, I've been around a long time, but you have something special. And until you learn what that is and how to feature that and make that part of your identity that is attractive to your perfect customer avatar, you're never going to reach your true potential. And it's only there that you're going to get the satisfaction, and you're going to get that knowing that I am good enough, that I can do it, that I am doing it. Right? So I hope this was encouraging for you today. Pete Ramsey here, HVAC Greatness. Hope to see you on the next one. I'll talk to you later. You take care. Bye-bye.